Many of you are seeking out to tune in more now to your higher self and connect it more to the universal energy. We can feel this. There are many of you seeking advice and help and assistance. We can see this. We feel your energies. You are connecting to us. We can feel this too. But remember, your emotions and memories are like the images that you see in a photograph. They are being held here, your emotions, your feelings. So when you do leave your physical form, that you are here with us, that we help you to process the information and what it is that you need to go through to see what it is that you want to repeat, to have a greater understanding of yourself. It is like the Rubik's Cube where you turn it around and you see the many sides of yourself and the interactions of the relationships that you have. There are many of us here that assist you to help you. But your higher self, your connection, your soul consciousness, many of you can learn to connect to this part of yourself. It is by doing the work of being aware of who you are. It is to have the relationship with yourself. It is not to fear what you may find. It is to know that your higher self is just waiting for this connection. We will always, and there is another energy stepping forward. It seems to have been a disconnection at some point with your higher self. Unknown why, but there was a disconnection. It was so that the human then could seek this out themselves and to find more information of themselves. That is your journey and why you're here. It is to learn how to connect back to yourself. And every situation or every emotion or every experience that you feel, it is so that you can connect back to your heart center. It is your heart center that connects you to us. It is a higher sense of energy. Again, it is a different frequency of yourself. You separate yourselves on your planet because you judge yourselves. You have learnt to judge yourself. You have learnt that you are unworthy. When you feel into the unworthiness of yourself, it makes it difficult for you to connect to Source. Source is loving. Source is like the parent that forgives unconditionally. It is unconditional love that brings you closer to us. Source operates from the heart center. It is a higher frequency. It is to be loved. It is to allow yourself to be loved. It is the love for yourself. On your planet, it is seen as if this is overindulgence. Your true soul journey is for you to find that love and to seek and to feel connected as one. It was never meant to be disconnected, but the energy on your planet is a lower frequency. It is dense frequency. It holds you stuck. It is through the wars, the phantoms, the destruction nests on your planet. There's many of the humans who are in fear that seek out assistance through your media and through other avenues. The energy is dense. The shift is that many of you are seeking out other avenues of receiving your information. It is for you to be able to connect to your higher self, that one self, that part of yourself, that you can believe that you are pure. Many of you do not feel that you are pure, that you judge yourself. Our hope is there for us to reach you if you do not feel that you are pure. There are many here on this side that have lived the human experience, who reach out to offer their experiences and their love to each and every one of you. It is like an image of many hands reaching out to you to offer the guidance that you seek at any particular time. But many of you do not feel that you are worthy, and you judge yourselves, and this is what separates yourself. We are aware of the emotions on your planet at this time, and we are aware of the disconnection. There are many of you who are in disbelief of what they hear. Many of you go into the fear mode of trying to protect yourself and wondering what you are hearing or feeling or seeing. Many of you step into the ego state of yourself. We have not forsaken you. You are as an individual that yes, you are able to connect. You're able to connect to source. However or whoever you wish to call it, whatever name you wish to give it. Sometimes humans prefer to give this a name so that they can feel safe. When you are connecting with others who are similar to yourself, you feel safer than what your ears are hearing or what you are feeling. You feel safe to fear, to feel, to know the information you are receiving. Could this be true? Do you feel safer? When loved ones pass over, their memories are here. There is a memory bank of stored information. It can be reached. There is much guidance here to be sought out. It is for you to trust in yourself that you are receiving the information that you need to receive at any given time. It is for you to learn to connect to those emotions, as you are all emotional beings here in this. It is for you to feel safe and not to judge yourself. Judge yourselves from many of the experiences that you have been encountering, the humans around you, the individual people that have been with you. This is normal behavior. But we wish you to start looking at it from a different perspective and to go into the heart center and to ask your higher self. Your higher self is your soul consciousness from your heart center. The emotions that you feel is to sit with it and to see how it can help you. You have access to the memory banks yourself. You access your memory banks of emotions through the experiences that you have encountered. There are repeat experiences that you have from many lifetimes, and also as you move forward. Your freedom is there within your reach. It is for you just to learn to connect to that freedom of yourself. Imagine on your planet that if everyone could connect to their higher self, imagine the freedom and the light that your planet would have. Imagine that freedom. We are aware at this particular time as we talk to each and every one of you that there is this full moon that you have upon yourselves and the emotions that are being risen to the surface. It is not to hold it as a container, as the vessel. It is to release and to let go. It's to work with the emotions of yourself. You are not a container to hold it in. You are a container to experience the experiences, to work through those experiences, and then to move forward. That is different on your planet at this particular time. The energy is changing. Okay, I'm aware there was a shift of energy. I'm here for a moment. We can take questions, observations, they're here. So sometimes people have questions on what they've heard, or there might be something that you have encountered or that you feel others may need to hear. We enjoy the wording of discombobulated. Discombobulated. We love your words. Discombobulated. It may feel that discombobulated. We shall explain more if we have to, but we will. But we enjoy using this word, the discombobulated. Yes, good word. Yes. You see, there is this understanding from the human that they think that you are doing this journey, living this journey, experiencing this journey on your own. No, 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 no. You are not. There are many of your ancestors that step forward to assist you, many of those who've walked the earth before, and there are many of your guides. And yes, we have spoken about your higher self. But it is about doing the work. And many of you may resist this of the suggestion of doing the work. And what do we mean by doing the work? Well, the work is that there are those times that you take time out to hear the inner voice. And we do not mean the inner voice of the brain that is criticizing yourself, or the memories of individuals that criticize you, those parents, those lovers, those friends, whoever it is, or family members. No. It is by doing the work in the sense that you sit with yourself. Now, we're using this word, we would say meditation. Now, meditation is literally taking some time out for yourself. Many of you, even through yoga or walking with nature, it's the same thing. It's where your mind switches off from your daily tasks that it needs to be completed. It is where you walk, where you enjoy the smell of the flowers, or see the sea, or hear the birds singing. Those are the moments where you are beginning to start connecting to oneself, that you are tuning in. It is easy as this. It's building that connection, that relationship with your higher self. It is coming back to your heart center, is coming that connection. It is to be in that moment, is to allowing yourself to be in that moment. Sometimes the brains come in and your mind, your subconscious mind will say, I haven't got time for this. I should be busy doing some work of some sort. The busyness of the human world that you live in, the work that people do, whether it's running around doing errands for other individuals, or the families or the companies that individuals work for. This is just an activity for the brain, for the mind, and to earn that money, that is the transfer of energy. This is backward thinking, to be honest with all of you. Going back centuries on your planet, there was always the exchange of energy, that there was no such concept of the money. The money has been given such a high priority in your society now. But before, it was not this. It was about connecting to yourself. It was about being aware of how you are feeling. It was about awareness of what a village would need and the interaction of each other. There was more of a connection to some degree, a connection to oneself. a connection of what it is that you need. It's going back to your needs that need to be met. It has become different. There has been barriers that have been put in place now. It is the fancy car, the fancy house. It is the hierarchy within the companies. It's so different. It separates yourself. Connecting to your higher self is simply the simple things of tuning into what you may like and to give yourself that time to enjoy, to embrace that feeling that you are feeling, because you are a human being. You are being in the moment. Being is the word. You are receiving the energy of what you are observing around you and what you are feeling. You're having this interaction with that flower, that bumblebee. You're allowing your ears to hear the bird. You're having that interaction. You are receiving. Your pores are receiving the information. Your physical form is receiving the information. You're experiencing nature. You're experiencing those moments, those emotional moments. These help you to connect to your higher self. And on your planet, it has been this disconnection of the sense of listening or watching TV when you could be sitting with yourself. Not you in particular, the person that asked this question, but to many of you, that you distract yourself from the emotions that you are feeling, that you engage with other activities so that you do not feel it in your heart. You do not allow your heart to grieve. It is to be in those grieving moments, those moments of mourning, that your older self, the self that you are leaving behind. And also this can affect individuals. This affects you by who the person that you used to be, and you know that you're moving forward and that you're engaging with maybe new individuals, or you're having new experiences because you're moving forward. But there can be a mourning or a loss of leaving behind some others that you have moved on from, old friendships, because the residue or the frequency that where you are holding right now is very different from the other individuals. This has happened before, where individuals are a low frequency and they moan about things and how they see the world, and they don't believe in the universe, or they don't believe that you can change your world. And then when you are doing the work on yourself, and then you believe in the universe and manifesting an abundance, and it's just there, the frequency changes, and there will be this also. Another shifting and changing of your guides is because it's the frequency of where you're at. Imagine your guides are always there through many lifetimes that you have encountered, but depending on your soul progression depends on the activity of your guides. The individual that has asked this question, you have changed. You're working more on yourself, but there may also be discomfort that is occurring around you too. When you change individuals, this is for everyone. When you change individually through whatever journey that you have encountered, wherever it is that you've had some big life-changing event that's happened for individuals, you start querying and questioning what else there is in life. And you start wondering about your journeys. Many of you become aware of how fast that your lifetime here on planet Earth, as you as an individual, how you are, how fast it is zooming by. A blink of an eyelid, it's gone, as you are as a particular person, individual. So many of you are now reaching out and are at that time of making changes. Your guides change with you. Their frequency changes, it shifts. So you may have one particular guide that's working with you from the day that you're born and observes where you're going through and waits for the individual to ask or reach out for help. The guides give you signs. Your guides could be angelic, could be loved ones who are on the other side, but your guides make up a whole collection of individuals that step forward to assist you. As you become more aware of your own energy and you're working more in the vibration of the frequency of how you feel the happiness, you are studying or you are stretching or you are expanding, your guides know that you have shifted and the energy of those particular guides come in. And how can you tell? Well, because you may feel discombobulated. So you might feel there's a conflict. You might feel that you don't feel as if you have a balance. And this is because your guides are shifting and changing as your energy shifts and changes too. The more of the interaction with your guides of asking and querying and asking for assistance, your guides then know they have to stretch their muscles as well. We don't mean they have muscles, but we've used this terminology today when we are with somebody, that there is the pain of growth. The pain of growth is stepping out of the old familiar patterns of behavior and shifting into something new. It is like going to the gym, that sometimes the body aches because of the muscles are tearing slightly and rebuilding themselves and making themselves stronger. This also happens to the individual when they're working with their own self, when you are learning how to be in the environments that please you now, by learning to say it's okay, it's not selfish to do what it is that you wish to do or what makes you happy. It is for you to step into the moments of feeling the happiness. It is for you to search within the moments of happiness. It is for you to tune into yourself, and we mean by this by searching for the happiness. Others may not be best pleased of this because, of course, they are not doing the work on themselves. They do not want to expand, or they do not have the trust. And this is the other side. This is the trust in the process that there will be this expansion within yourself and your life begins to change. Of course, but many of you will feel that you are blindfolded, that you cannot see where you are heading. We are fascinated sometimes that why would you want to see where you're heading? Because you are not the person there ahead of you right now. You are going through your own individual journey. So you may not be able to feel or see that. Some of you get glimpses. Some of you are very psychic, will get glimpses of what you are seeing ahead of you. And this is like the breadcrumbs in front of you that you're being provided with to say, yes, you see, you're on the right pathway. Many of you will see that. And then some of you will pull back and go, oh, no, that can't be me because I'm no good at this. I'm no good at that. And then you judge yourself and you then lower the density of how you are feeling internally. So this is practice. This is about growth. This is being aware of your journeys of where you are. It is being aware and accepting that when things are taken away or things are thrown up into the air, it's about the growth of the individual moving forward. So there is this debogulation. Debogulation, we'll use that word. Debogulation, discombobulation. Yes, we like that word better. The discombobulation of how one feels internally about themselves and their personal journey and those who are interacting with them around them. And also learning how to connect more to your guides. There are shifts in each of everyone's guides. We can feel this now because it's the frequency of how you feel and think about yourself. Some of you feel unworthy to receive the information, and that will hold you back too. So it is by sitting with yourself, and that can be uncomfortable for many of you. It is to come out of the head of overthinking, and it is almost like to place the hand on the heart and to ask the heart center, your soul consciousness, about your journey. It is about more of that connection, feeding into the heart center. And remember, we said to store information like the memory banks or things that you enjoy doing. That brings you back to the love and the creativity of yourself. It has the frequency of the divine light. It is a high frequency, and many of you have been disconnected from this just purely because of the world that you live in and your reality. So now when we say do the work on yourself, it is literally to connect back to yourself, to enjoy life. There are many on this side that have passed through, that no longer have that physical body to enjoy that journey in that sports car with the wind blowing through their hair in the convertible car. They miss the feeling of this because their physical form is no longer there. They cannot interact in that way, but they can work with you. They can feel it. If you are to think of a loved one, that the joyous times that you had, and ask them to step in, they will feel it because they step closer to your heart center. They work with you better. They can feel the wind blowing through your hair as you drive that convertible car. when you eat the chocolate or the food that you experience with them or the laughter that you have with them when they were physically here. It brings them closer to you. It brings you closer to source. There is an external energy that you can become one with. You do not have to wait until the body passes through and decays. There is that connection with the soul. When you connect to your higher self and the soul, you then connect to the universal energy. You feel more of what is here. We are trying to reach every one of you. We're trying to give you the message. We do not believe in scaremongering, but it's up to you as seeing yourself as the radio and tuning yourself in as into what station you wish to hear. It is your free will. It is your choice. But the individual asks this question, yes, you have your guides who are shifting around because you are changing your energy frequency. There are many guides that wish to work with you, and you'll work in many ways. There is so much growth. There is a fascination of the soul. Once the soul becomes conscious of itself, it wishes to seek out further knowledge of itself. Having the soul journey that each of you are traveling on needed to have a physical vessel to feel the emotions. The many journeys that the soul encounters learns to have the interaction with many others around that particular soul. The soul seeks out knowledge. That is the mission of the soul. The soul wishes to continuously learn and to grow. It is like the seed in the earth, that when there is the warmth and the sunlight, that the seed begins to sprout and to rise up to the sun. This is very much like the soul seed. When the soul becomes conscious of itself, it seeks out growth and needs and wants to learn. It breaks away from the whole collectiveness of the many souls and the light. It seeks out knowledge, it seeks out growth. So the soul needs a physical vessel to experience, and to experience it through the many senses that the human has, the physical form. There are other souls that do not have the human experience. They have other experiences through other beings. But the soul, when it becomes aware of itself, the consciousness of itself, becoming aware that it is one, that is not just a collective, the soul seeks out a driving force to learn. That is the soul to continue to grow and to expand itself. When the soul is housed within a physical vessel, it then experiences and engages in the emotions and the experiences of the lifetime that the soul is encountering. The many histories on your planet, even though they have been adjusted to some degree, they have been changed, or the knowledge of the history. But the soul has encountered many lifetimes and sought out to understand itself better. The soul wishes to engage with other beings, to have the interaction, and it just seeks out purely growth. This is part of nature of the soul. It is embedded within the soul once the soul becomes conscious of itself, that it is just not one with everything. that it seeks to learn. So in many lifetimes, yes, there are experiences of wounds in the sense of the inner emotions, the layers of the emotions of whatever that individual soul has encountered. It is for the soul to experience the interaction with individuals, for a soul to sit in front of a mirror. It would not be engaging with the other's emotions. The soul in the physical vessel has the interactions and experiences this, and how the individual interacts with them. Once the soul has those physical experiences and feels maybe sometimes the sensual pleasures or the distaste of envy or judgment, the many labels that you wish to place, that many of you created in the behaviors of others towards you or the interaction, the soul learns. It's this interest, it's this intrigued. The soul wishes to seek out the interaction with others. The soul plays many lifetimes to feel what positional role it would feel like to behave in a certain way. And yes, on that process, there may be many scarring of the old wounds. But then there is this intrigueness for the soul to continue to learn from what they once learned in the previous lifetime. Now, the reason why we say about building the connection to the soul consciousness is so it makes the journey more enlightened, so that you can understand why you are here. Otherwise, there is this blindfoldedness that many of you have, running around on this wheel like the mouse or the hamster, the image of going around in circles. The enlightenment of knowing yourself, finding more information out about yourself and how you enjoy certain things, connects back also to past lifetimes. And so it helps you to become more aligned. Many of you are so out of touch of how and who you are. And we understand why, because the lifetime that you may be living through the lack of, or the fear or judgment. When you wish to learn to connect to the soul consciousness, it helps you to have a more understanding of who you really are and the journey of why you are here, seeking out your purpose. But your purpose is for you to be experiencing. Your soul asks for the experiences, however painful they may be in some circumstances. But your soul became conscious of itself. Your soul asked to join in, to be activated. And to have that activation has to be placed within a physical vessel. When the physical vessel decays, your soul then looks at what it has learned and whether it wishes to continue and to continue on the cycle. There are many souls that have learned what they needed to learn and want to continue to help others. That's where you have your ascended masters to step in to assist. It is the work that they have learned, it's the information they seek. It would be a waste of time to deactivate that. Once the soul becomes aware of itself, the consciousness of itself, and has done the work that it feels that it needs to, and that is the purpose of the soul, to experience your experiences while you are here. That is the main purpose for an individual soul. It is to experience everything that you have experienced. It is to work through those wounds. There is so much more to life than what you are told of your 9-to-5 jobs, or even the relationships that you are given. The relationships are just to activate, to help you to release and to let go of those wounds, or to have a greater understanding. The soul has its own personality, it becomes aware of itself, it's being activated. That is the job of the human vessel, to house the soul and to connect to your higher self so that it makes it a little bit more easier. That you sit with your soul and you ask for connection. You step outside of the human world that you live in, of lack of, that you engage with your soul, that you have this communication, that you rise above what it is that you see that is happening, that you think for you. Because when you do this, you rise above the frequency of what is happening in your life. That is the abundance. That is where manifestation comes from. You create the reality of the world that you wish to live in, but you have to also be consciously aware of what you are doing to yourself in this particular world that you live in. The world that each of your souls live in is the reality of what you feel is your world. You get tied up in this holographic world that you live in. By connecting to your higher self, you rise above this and can see the issues so much more clearly. It is to connect to your soul consciousness. It is to move through those wounds, to have an understanding of your experiences. Your soul is here for the journey, the adventure. And then when your body has decayed as such, because it will not live forever, that you become part one again of the collective consciousness, the awareness. Many of your loved ones are here. Many of your loved ones reach out and to advise and to give you guidance. But it's about having your awareness. It is to engage. There are many that have the interaction with relationships and pull back and do not want to continue the relationship with others because it's too painful. This is not your journey. Of your soul's journey is to pull back. It is to heal the wounded heart. It is to feel into the emotions, to see what joy you have experienced through any of those relationships. Is to hold on to that. For many of you get caught up in the emotions and feelings of what went wrong or what's happening. And can make it more easier to connect to the soul consciousness, to have a deep understanding, to reflect, to look down at the life's journey. Working from that level of frequency helps to free many of you.